got some good news. It's always great. It's always great to celebrate local success. And time to bring a touch of magic to daytime. Yeah, we're really doing magic on the radio, well, kind of talking about it, so everything will be fine. I don't think I'll be disappearing or being dismembered or cut in half or anything like that. But let's celebrate this, because Josh Maddocks from King's Lynn brings his incredible magic skills to weddings, and now he's won an award for it. This is fab news. Morning, Josh.
Good morning. How are you, Kelly?
Oh, really well, thank you. I mean, a huge congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it came as a bit of a shock.
Oh, I mean, especially when it comes to weddings. I mean, the competition for entertainers is huge. I know when I was trying to plan mine, there was this sort of endless pages and pages and pages of people that you could book for your wedding to do all sorts. So actually, to get this award, knowing you're up against good competition, I mean, you must be chuffed.
Yeah, I was pretty excited by it. You know, I just checked my emails probably a couple of days, well, about a week ago now. And I was actually searching for something for the wife, and it just sort of said, "Oh, by the way, you've actually won this award." And I was like, "Oh, it's probably one of those, one of those spam emails." But it was by Hitched, which is obviously one of the biggest wedding planner providers, in the UK. Yeah, pretty blown away. And it's the category of entertainment, not just magicians. So I was like, even more blown away.
Oh, that's amazing. So when it comes to weddings, what are couples looking for when it comes to entertainment? And actually, what do you offer?
So I think they know what they're looking for, and I think it's part of our job as suppliers to try and fill that gap. I think for what I do personally, I think they hire me to sort of fill that gap where there's nothing for their guests to do when they're off the photos. So for the bride and groom, their day is still like the roller coaster. But sometimes for the guests, there's not much that they're left to do in the day. So things like entertainers, like magicians, I've seen fire acts and all sorts at weddings. So it's quite a good thing to fill the guest day with, because it can be quite boring sometimes. If you're not getting married yourself and you're just sat there and you're on your seat next to people you don't know. They're sort of breaking the ice, leaving them with a better picture of their day as well, like a big part of the story.
Oh, it sounds brilliant. And actually, it's quite a nice buffer as well, depending on what your friends and family are like. But I'm guessing it's also quite a nice way of just stopping people from having too much to drink before anything actually starts as well. You can just distract them for a couple of minutes.
I don't think I've ever stopped anyone if
So how did this all start? How do you get into magic?
It's a weird one, isn't it? I started years ago. I was at school, and me and my friend bought a poker set. We didn't know how to play. I don't know if you've seen a poker set. They come with dice, and if you know the game of poker, you don't use dice. But we were using that. We had no idea how to play, but taught ourselves how to, get the basics down. Took it to school, and then no one else at school could play either, so we decided to play blackjack instead. I was tasked with shuffling the cards because no one else could do it. My brother Peter taught me how to do it when I was a kid. So that was my job. And then I realised that looking down, I could see like the bottom cards, and I used to cheat at school. And then after school finished, I thought, well, I can't really see myself hitting Vegas and being a big time cheater. So I thought, what else could I use the skill for? And I found magic. And since then, I joined the Magic Circle last year, so I'm a full member of the Magic Circle. And if you're curious about getting into magic, or if anyone's listening curious about it, then you can. They have like a young magicians club. They have like you don't just have to be a child. You can join as an adult. There's many ways. You can always just search on YouTube how to do a trick if you want to just impress somebody. But yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. I mean, the Magic Circle, I want to be part of the Magic Circle. That sounds very fancy and very important. We all had those magic kits as a kid, didn't we? We sort of, you get a couple of little tricks and the little things you could do, and then it tends to go back in the cupboard again. I was terrible at them, so I will never, ever be able to be as good as you. But, I mean, it's an obvious word to use, but there's something magical in magic, isn't it? It's sort of, you can't quite, if you don't know the trick, you sort of go, oh my goodness, how did you do that? How did you do that? And it's always like that surprise, isn't it? And that must be great fun to get those reactions from people.
Definitely. I mean, I'm always practiced with it as well, so it's not like I just do a wedding and then wait for a month's time and do another one. I've started taking on some residencies, so I've got 3 currently. So there's in Kings Lynn. I'm not sure if everyone in Norfolk will know them, but there's a place called Tipsy Teapot, Lost Lounge, and I've just taken on a new one called Jack's at Woodlakes. So because I'm doing 2 of them, I'm doing monthly, and one of them doing every week. Every time I go in, I get, oh, what's the new trick today? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start learning more and more. So, you know, the amount of tricks that I've had to learn through just the residencies alone is, I think it's made me better. It's made, you know, obviously the magic itself. So I think when it comes to weddings, there's so much more that I could offer, you know, now, as opposed to, you know, me a few years ago when I didn't really, you know, just doing the same set pretty much. Whereas now it's always evolving. So if somebody's seen me before, chances are they're not going to see, you know, a couple of tricks that I'm doing now. So, you know, it's really evolved, and it's really magical for them that, you know, I get to see adults, you know, get taken back to when they were, you know, that sort of experience when they were a kid and they didn't understand the world. You know, my job is amazing.
Oh, it sounds it. And it's an interesting one, because I think, you know, if you're a band or a musician or a wedding DJ, I mean, you basically, if you do the same thing every time, then it's kind of a jackpot, really, because, you know, when you think of sort of your favourite band and you go to a gig, you want them to play the same 5 songs. You probably heard them perform over and over again. But the fact that you have to do something different every time, that's really odd.
It's strange, isn't it? Like that parallel. Yeah. You're so right. Every time we, you know, I've seen the same, you know, bands and stuff at weddings before, and they play all the, even the wedding, you know, bands and things. They play the same ones, and it's not like they're going to have the same audience every time. But you know, even weddings I go to now, I always get people. You know, the vast majority of people at a wedding wouldn't know me, but there's always the 1 or 2 people that come over and they go, "Oh, we saw you at, you know, Sarah and Rachel, you know, whatever wedding," and you know, they expect something more or something different. Yeah.
Oh, that's fab. Like I say, I think I've like perfected the dance moves now to like "Come On Eileen" and "Love Shack." I think I can get them out at every single wedding, because I know it's going to happen at some point in the night. So you sort of prepare for it. But it must be nice as well, just to be able to sort of go around, because I think it must be nice as a supplier for a wedding, because you basically just to get to go out, check out all the venues, basically just kind of gate crash people's weddings, sort of half enjoy it, and that must be quite nice to be behind the scenes of it.
It's unreal, yeah. I moved here from Milton Keynes nearly 4 years ago. Well, it's probably over 4 years now. And in Milton Keynes, I did the same, like maybe 5 venues. You know, they were the ones that I got booked for, and it's very seasonal. So it was usually sort of the summer months, and then there's no wedding industry, from what I found anyway. And then moving to Norfolk, I've never been to so many big stately homes and mansiony sort of places, you know, halls, and they're all year round as well. And you get to see you get to know the suppliers. You know, I've got to meet other magicians in the industry. Some of them are, you know, really good. You know, all the DJs, photographers. It's unreal. It's probably one of the best industries, you know, I could ever hope to be a part of.
It's not a bad office to have at all, is it? So what kind of the popular things that you do? So I mean, say I'm getting married again. Like I say, we're not even at 6 months yet, so I don't want to curse my own marriage already. But pretend we are having another marriage coming up in the next couple of months, and you turn up and do some magic. So what kind of things can we expect?
For me to turn up?
Yeah, some of the things that you do.
Yeah, so I mean, first, like you say about gate crashing people's weddings, is that sort of feeling. But I turn up in a big top hat, so nice. I'd not seen many other magicians that wear one, but I thought I'd keep on to that. So you'd probably notice me before I notice you as I walk in. Everybody's curious as to what I'm there for. I'd like to just sort of, you know, start slow. I mix and mingle within the crowd, and I sort of just show card tricks, coin tricks. I can do tricks with lollipops, things like that. You know, Sharpie pens. And my aim is to sort of have people leave. When I leave, I want people to still be talking. Or to put it into perspective, I did a wedding, must have been about 5 years ago, and it was like a multicultural wedding. And when I walked in, there was such a tense atmosphere in the room, you know, because 2 sides not talking to each other. I was very hostile. And I remember it's probably one of the best weddings I've ever been to, because when I left, everyone was talking. You couldn't, you know, there was no coldness in the room, no awkwardness. just people, they probably start off saying, oh, he did that trick and it was amazing. But then afterwards, they're talking about their favourite football teams or something. So where is it? I see it as a big part of the wedding that I do magic. It's more important that, we're connecting people. That's the way I see it anyway.
Oh, that's incredible. Josh, it's so good to catch up with you. Congratulations on the award. It sounds like it's very well earned. And yeah, hopefully good luck with the residencies and things as well. People want to find out more, Josh. Where can they go to?
If you go on joshmaddocks.com, so Maddocks, joshmaddocks.com, you can find everything on there, or find me on the usual socials, Instagram, Facebook. If you've got any questions or anything, I'm quite happy to answer everything. Just shoot me a message.
Do you ever pull anything out of the giant top hat?
I can't tell you.
Oh. As if you're wearing a giant top hat, something's got to go on with it. Josh, thank you so much. Josh Maddocks from Kings Lynn.
The sound of Norfolk.